First at 4, Democrats take a stand but cannot win. Why these photos were placed on their seats during the first vote on a new Supreme Court justice. Paula.
Okay, so what's going on with all the purple around town? I'm Paula Tupman. It's all about what police want you talking about, starting today. I'll explain.
Paula, we've got a sea of warmth just off to the south. It's all headed here tomorrow afternoon, but it's also going to bring in strong storms with it. We'll look at the timing on that in your weekend forecast right now. First at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. That breaking news happening on Detroit's west side, where an intruder has been shot in a home invasion. Police say a woman and 3 children were inside a home on Barton near Livernois and Tireman when someone broke in. That woman called a friend for help, and sometime after that, the suspect was shot. Police don't know yet who fired, and they don't know if the suspect knew the victims. That suspect is in critical condition. Another person is in custody. Police are still sorting out details. A car theft leaves one man dead at a rail yard over in Huron Township. Now, this happened overnight at the CSX Transportation Yard near Huron River Drive and I-275. Investigators say the suspects got away with 6 cars. At some point, one of the drivers lost control and then ended up overturned in a pond. You can see right there. It killed him. Police are now working to identify the man. We're told 3 of the cars have been recovered. Police are searching for several suspects who did get away and for the rest of those stolen cars. We've just started sorting through all the latest coronavirus numbers from the state of Michigan. Here are some of the key results. We are seeing nearly 1,900 new cases just in the past 24 hours. Also, the number of new deaths now seems to be on the rise. The state has lost another 43 people just in the past day, including 31 from a vital records review. Just yesterday, Governor Whitmer sounding the alarm bell that we are at a possible tipping point if we cannot start lowering those numbers again. The controversial nomination of Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court is moving forward. Today, the Republican-controlled Judiciary Committee voted to send her nomination to the full Senate. All the Democrats on the committee boycotted the vote, instead putting photos of Americans who have benefited from the Affordable Care Act in their seats. The High Court will soon hear a case that could end the so-called Obamacare. No Supreme Court justice has been confirmed this close to an election.
Our Democratic colleagues informed the committee last night that they will not participate in the hearing. That was their choice. It will be my choice to vote the nominee out of committee. We're not going to allow them to take over the committee.
The nomination of Amy Coney Barrett is the most illegitimate process I have ever witnessed in the Senate, and her potential confirmation will have dire, dire consequences for the Senate, for the Supreme Court, and our entire country for generations to come.
Democrats objected to the appointment in the middle of an election with voting already underway. Barrett's nomination will be considered by the full Senate on Monday. We are now 12 days away from the 2020 presidential election. Tonight, another milestone in an unconventional race. The final debate between President Trump and Joe Biden is just hours away. Also today, the battle for Michigan voters is playing out right here in Metro Detroit. Local 4's Kimberly Gill in the newsroom. And Kim, we've never seen a presidential debate like this.
Karen, that's right, and good afternoon to you. The first debate was the most contentious we've ever seen in presidential politics. Well, this time, organizers are taking more control to prevent both candidates from interrupting the other. Tonight, each candidate's microphone will be muted while his opponent gives an opening statement on each topic. Both mics will be turned on during the open discussion segments of the debate. President Trump calls the change unfair. Democrat Joe Biden has announced he's tested negative for coronavirus before tonight's debate. No word from President Trump yet. And First Lady Melania Trump is expected to be at the debate. It's her first public appearance since recovering from COVID-19. This afternoon, Vice President Mike Pence was in Waterford rallying the MAGA faithful. He praised President Trump for replacing NAFTA. The vice president urged Michigan voters to continue a movement they started 4 years ago.
Michigan and America need 4 more years of President Donald Trump in the White House. And the road to victory runs right through Michigan.
We're not going to have a president that goes out of his way to insult anybody who doesn't support him. or threaten them with jail. That's not normal presidential behavior.
And that was, of course, former President Barack Obama proposing the next 4 years could be very different. It was his first in-person appearance to boost his former vice president, Joe Biden. So remember, you can watch the final presidential debate right here on Local 4. It starts at 9 p.m. It's the final chance to see the candidates side by side before Election Day. Our preview coverage continues tonight on the news at 5. Until then, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Kim. Once again, the Local 4 Trust Index team will be fact-checking live during the debate on our website, clickondetroit.com. Also, Grant Herms will be working with the team overnight to further analyze claims from both candidates. Our Trust Index reports continue on Local 4 News today, starting at 5 a.m. Video from the White House is burning up the internet this afternoon. Once again, President Trump criticizing Michigan's Governor Whitmer, this time during an interview with 60 Minutes.
Oh, I do criticize her, yeah. Well, I think the way she locked down Michigan is a disgrace. The way she closed churches in Michigan is a disgrace. I think it's disgraceful.
The White House released the video because the president isn't happy with the interview. New at 5, what the president said about those chants of lock her up at a weekend rally, and we are efforting reaction from Governor Whitmer. In the first forecast, we seem to be stuck in that gray, rainy rut. Will we get a break this evening? Let's take a look at the first forecast with Ben Bailey. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Karen. Yeah, that's a piece of good news. We don't have the nighttime rain tonight to worry about. The flip side of that is it's coming in early tomorrow and could be with strong storms as well. And this is one of the reasons. Look at all of these warm temperatures. That warm front is just sort of sitting here along the border. It's 71 in Toledo right now, 76 in Cleveland. We're sitting at 58 at Metro Airport, and likely we will remain in the upper 50s and low 60s all the way through tonight. Severe risk just barely runs into Monroe County for the marginal risk tomorrow. But I still think that we're going to see some gusty winds, possibly some small hail, and at least some isolated downpours with these storms that are going to be rolling through. So timing-wise, probably 3 o'clock or so, we'll start seeing that rolling into the west zone, and then should be gone, at least the strongest stuff, by about 6 p.m. But notice that the rain is going to linger even into the evening hours tomorrow. We will check how warm your neighborhood will get in the 4-zone forecast and take a closer look at those storms in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. Well, if you're moving around downtown Detroit, you may have noticed many buildings have taken on various hues of purple. As Paula Tubman reports, it's to bring awareness to domestic violence in hopes the colorful displays become a conversation starter or even illuminate a path to seek help.
As the officer in charge of the Detroit Police Department's Domestic Violence Unit, Sergeant Kyla Williams usually sees red.
What breaks my heart the most is when I see victims come in and they have small children with them.
But today she sees purple everywhere she looks as the department illuminates the need to discuss and be aware of domestic and intimate partner violence.
Today is recognized as Purple Thursday, and it is a national day where advocates of domestic violence and those who support domestic violence across the nation wear purple to bring awareness to domestic violence.
Interestingly enough, while nationally domestic violence has gone up since the nation went into lockdown because of COVID, Detroit's numbers have gone down. The Domestic Violence Unit has been assigned 7,510 cases as of October 18th this year and submitted 3,213 cases to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. But in 2019, the Domestic Violence Unit was assigned 7,960 cases from January to October 20th and submitted 3,711 cases to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. But Sergeant Williams doesn't believe it's because there's less violence. She believes the pandemic has driven reporting underground.
The victim is home with his or her abuser. So there is that greater risk of being abused when you're in the home together. Sometimes those who are, and mainly women, who are in abusive relationships seek refuge either through work or maybe taking the children to school or being able to go visit family. But during the pandemic and the quarantine, that is not an option for them.
And also by putting a ribbon outside the department and getting other companies to also flash a purple hue, she hopes this gives people a reason to go beyond the word awareness.
It's a signal, too, to those who may be suffering or those who may know of someone who's suffering from domestic violence that there is help out here.
You know, and this is really just one important day of 365 important days to start that conversation, particularly with young people, teenage boys and teenage girls, about proper expectations as well as behavior, but also to dial in with people to make sure they're okay and to let them know there are resources out there to help them if they're not, Karen.
So important to be checking on all those people in your life. All right. Thank you, Paula. Still ahead here, first at 4. New job numbers. We're seeing a positive trend, but is there a setback on the horizon? Also ahead, fighting Facebook. A long-promised change is becoming a reality. What it means for all of us. And Delta will soon be one of the only airlines offering empty middle seats as another carrier makes a change. How worried should you be about flying? New research today encouraging. First at 4.